Jim. Get everybody.
How are we doing today?
Good.
Good. Well, I think that no new comments really from this last game. We obviously didn't maybe play consistently at the level that we had hoped to or wanted to, but I think at this point the focus needs to be on learning from that experience in terms of how we can get better and also to move forward and look to the challenge that we have ahead of us, which is really the legacy of the season relative to what we can accomplish and what we can do, and the meaning of this game that we play against our rivalry in the state in the Iron Bowl certainly is a lot to look forward to, a lot to prepare for, a lot to get ready for. So that's where our focus needs to be. I think this is one of the greatest rivalry games in the country. I know it means a lot to a lot of people in this state as well as nationally, and the competitors in the game probably enjoy this kind of competition, this kind of rivalry as much as any game that they play. It's senior day on Saturday for us, and we have 23 seniors who have done a fantastic job here. 48-5 record is pretty admirable, and so we're looking forward to being able to honor them in their last home game in Bryant-Denny Stadium. Auburn, I think, is an outstanding team. Gus has done a really, really good job there since he's been there, but especially this year, and how this team has developed and improved throughout the season. They've made adjustments throughout the year relative to issues that they've had on their team, whether it be injuries or whatever, but still managed to score a lot of points, run the ball very effectively. They've been able to make explosive plays in the passing game. Their defense has been probably as good as any defense that we've played against, all year long. They're very good up front. They've got good pass rushers. They create negative plays. They play good in the back end. They're very well coached. Kevin's done a really good job with them. I think Carl Lawson and Montravius Adams are especially a handful, up front, and I think, they do what they do on offense regardless of who plays quarterback, and they've been able to do that pretty effectively, all year long relative to how they've been able to run the ball on people and make explosive plays in the passing game. So we've got probably one of the best place kickers in the country in Daniel Carlson, and this is a very, very good team.
Start over here with Aaron.
Auburn's played three quarterbacks lately: John Franklin III, Sean White, and Jeremy Johnson. What have you seen from each of those guys?
Well, they're all a little bit different, I think, but all very effective in terms of their style and how they play. Sean White probably was the most effective guy throwing the ball consistently, go with their running game, but also pulled the ball on some of the quarterback runs and made plays and was very efficient and effective. The other two guys are very athletic and very capable of running at any time, scrambling at any time, making plays with their feet at any time, running the quarterback runs that they have in their offense, as well as making plays passing. So I don't see a whole lot of difference in the guys. I don't like to compare people, but we all think that we all respect each and every one of their abilities to make plays at their position.
Okay, come back over here with Michael.
First off, how's Cam Robinson, Corn Furman, how's he doing after that game?
I think those guys are better than expected. I don't know that they'll be able to practice today, but we'll have everybody back on the practice field tomorrow.
And with Auburn, they pass the ball about as little as any team in the country. How difficult is that to prepare for on the front end, the back end, for a team that just runs the ball most of the time?
Well, I think that they do run the ball, but they run it because they're very good at running it and they're very effective doing it. But they also have threats outside, and because they run it, I think it makes it very difficult to defend some of the shot passes that they take relative to their play action game and their ability to make explosive plays in the passing game. And I think that's one of the keys really is to how do you stop the run, but not do it at the expense of giving up explosive plays in the back end.
Back up here in the front with Mark.
I just want to ask you about your running back position. What's the overall health of guys like Bo and Damian and how they're progressing?
Well, Damian's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with him. He played in the last game, and Bo should be back this week. Bo could have played in the last game. He made a decision, and I talked to Bo before the game. He practiced. He wanted to play. I said, "Look, Bo, we're going to use you in the game if we need you," which to me meant if one of the other guys got hurt and we needed another runner in the game, we would have played him. So he should be fine this week and able to practice a little bit more and maybe get himself a little more game ready.
Back on the left with Rayner.
How would you assess the state of the offensive line at this stage of the season?
Well, I think the offensive line, I said Thursday night on my radio show, was, if I had to say what was the most improved part of our team, that was it. But I don't think that we played especially well in this past game, and I certainly think we'll have to play a lot better in this game against the quality of people that we're playing against to be effective.
Back over here with Taryn.
It's been about a month since an opponent has scored against your defense. How has the unit as a whole improved since the beginning, and what's enabled them to keep people out?
Well, I think the guys have played well together. They've had a good competitive spirit. They prepared pretty well. I think they have a lot of pride, but this is going to be the most challenging group that we faced, probably in terms of the multiples of things that they do and how we need to adjust and how people need to be responsible in doing their job, and that'll be a real key to it. So it doesn't really matter what we've done the last 3 weeks. It really matters what we do the next week, and that's really what we're focused on here.
Come back up front with Dwayne.
Coach, just got two quick questions. First, with the mystery not only at quarterback, but at running back, whether they might play Petway, if Petway is healthy, does that change in how you prepare, knowing that you really don't know what you might get come Saturday?
Well, we really have to prepare for what they do. They do a good job of utilizing the personnel they have. We're preparing as if those guys will play because we respect all the players that they have at that position. And all those guys have been productive for them all year long. So we think they're all really good players, and they're going to be a challenge for us to be able to defend against.
And second question, you explained about why Darius didn't play the last game. What are you doing with him moving forward going into this game?
He's fine if he does what he's supposed to do, and he'll be fine in this game.
Come back over, stay in the front with Ken.
Yeah, Coach, you guys have faced a lot of good edge rushers, and Auburn has a couple of them, but talk about their strength on the defensive line across their whole front, and how does that group stack up with some of the others?
Well, I think this is probably the best front we've played against. I tried to allude to that in my opening comments. This may be the best defense we played against all year. This is one of Auburn's better defenses, not to make comparisons, that we played against since we've been here. And I think it starts with their front guys because they're very dominant up front, but they're good in all areas, on their team, and they play very well, and they don't make a lot of mistakes, and they're coached very well, and they've got a lot of ability, and it's going to be a real challenge for us to control their front people.
Okay. Wrap up in the back with Joe.
Hey, Coach, you've reiterated the point a couple times that there's a lot to take away and learn from this past weekend's game. At this point in the season, as you guys are entering a really important stretch, is it a good thing in your mind to really have that strong teaching moment?
I can't really assess that. I think that you kind of play the cards that you're dealt. We said we'd like to create momentum in the game and confidence, but I think if you're a good competitor and you're not pleased with the way you played, you should respond and react to that. So how to balance all that and know what's better or worse, I really don't know. I know that, as a coach, we just want to do everything we can to help our players play better. That none of them want to go out there and not play well. And it's our responsibility to try to get them to play well. And if they don't, it's our responsibility to help them do that. And if they didn't, it's our responsibility that they didn't. So I'm certainly not pointing the finger at any players. I think that we just, didn't play our best to the standard that we'd like to play to, and we need to get that corrected.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, man.